Okay, hi everyone. So this is our team, Rehab Happy Walk. And this is what we do. We do something to help Parkinson people walk better. As you can see our patient from the right-hand side, she can walk quite very slow and quite got stuck at the corner. And on the right-hand side is our device. So this is the first trial after wearing our device on, so it needs no learning curve at all. So what is the problem actually with the freezing gait? It means that you can walk very slow with unpredictable, so it can be happen anytime and anywhere, which is also increase the risk of falling, and it's like 3 times high of falling rate compared to non-Parkinson disease patient. And it's also quite frustrating. For example, if you would like to get out of bed to the toilet, you cannot go it quite well. So freezing gait is quite frustrating and hazardous, and people become fear of fall with depression and become the wheelchair bound finally. So this is our vision. We would like to bring them back to society with confidence and can join the community quite well. And it's not only the small issue, it's a global problem, which more than 15 million people worldwide affected from that. It's the second rank next to the Alzheimer's disease. And there is no cure at the moment. So what do we have? We have something called visual cue, which creates a new pathway to the brain. So as you can compare between the right side and the left side, the visual cue can improve them walking. But what is the problem of the visual cue? You cannot draw the fixed line all the way through, right? It's fixed with the floor, and it's not according to your gait step at all. So right now in the current market, we have something called movable gait analysis, which it can be cane or it can be walker laser. But it's still problematic and it's not natural walking at all. So why we said that? Because it can slowly increase the risk of high falling rate. In the research said that in people who never used it before can step over their own cane or walker and have 50% higher chance. And also everyone knows that Parkinson has the tremor or shaking hands. So it's not suitable for them as well. And when you walk for the long distance, it can cause you the shoulder pain, elbow pain, which can increase you has a lot of fatigue from that. So we thought that why don't we do something that can variable with your gait pattern. On the right side is our first prototype, and I would like to emphasize that it's not the shoe. I attached with the foot. And after we proved of the concept, we found that it can increase the gait speed, improve balance, and reduce the percent of freezing. So we try to develop the next version. It's the second prototype, and we will launch the real things on the May this year. So this is just a mock-up picture, not the real product yet. And I would like to show the comparison again between her own visual cue with the cane with our device. So you can see the comparison between the gait speed and the smooth of the walking pattern from this video. So our product can solve unmet needs because you can wear with any kind of shoe, can wear with bare feet, and the position is above the ankle with the lightweight, so it's not obstructive to the foot at all. And you can still have the hand-free motion which use rechargeable battery. So how can we come with this product at this stage? We developed with 15 patients and caregivers as our stakeholder. So we begin with each other since the beginning of first prototype to find the final version that everyone loves it and more secure with them. And we also have the competitor, which is a walk with Pathfinder from Denmark. But we thought that their product, the position is at the forefoot, so it's maybe obtrusive and it's made of rubber band. So you need a good hand function to wear that. And it's still only available online at the moment. So we use also the word of mouth of Parkinson's disease and caregiver and through our social media as a testimonial in the Rama channel. So they're so glad that their wife can have smiley face again, they can walk again. And we also have the key leader opinion from the Deputy of ASEAN Institute Health that this can be the inspiration to aging people to go more on the society and join more in the community. And also from the key neurologist in Thailand in Movement Disorder International, he said to me that sometimes the deep brain stimulation doesn't work and need to back up, like the visual cue as well. So the social impact, everyone knows that if people have falling, it affects the patient for sure. But it also affects the caregiver to take care of them and losing their job, and also the healthcare costs for the government. It can show that when one person falling, it can increase the hospital stay at 20,000 US, and which is 3 times higher than non-Parkinson. And it's just not the falling that causes the problem. It's when people don't want to walk and reduce physical activity. It leads to other diseases like hypertension or heart disease, and it can affect nearly 3 billion worldwide costs and increase risk of death. So this is our milestone and timeline. We start the product in April and we developed the first prototype in May last year. So now this is a 1 year of our company and our product. We win the competition to go to the MIT Startup Boston last year and win the Sprint Accelerator as the bootstrap. And right now we are on the stage that we will launch the product in Thailand in May. We are working through the medical standard and FDA, whether we need it or not. We are still searching for that. And after that, we will contact with our networking and foreign distributor to go on abroad in the last later. With the detail will be explained more in the next slide.
Okay, so for go-to-market strategy, we divided into two parts, local markets and international markets. For Thailand, we quite confident that we will receive a grant from Mahidol and Rama hospitals, and we believe that grant will help us run for 2 years. And then for the next 2 years, we believe that since Mahidol have a lot of reputations, we will get a lot of money support from the public and then private companies, and that will help us into the business for the next couple of years. And then after 4 years, we will try to find and go through the crowdfunding platform locally and internationally. And for international markets, as Dr. Thaw mentioned, next week we're going to meet one of them to discuss and gather all requirements and then standards to go to Australia and then Germany as our plan. This is a summary of our marketing mix. The price that we set is around $500, which match with overall competitors, especially the main competitors that Dr. Thaw mentioned. And then this is a financial projection. In overall 5 years, we plan to sell around 85,000 units. And then the overall net income for 5 years is around $16 million. For NPV, we project around $4.3 million. And then break even, we believe it will go within 1 year and 4 months. Now, thank you again for our stakeholders and validators to help to prove our concept that it works, and then help to develop our prototypes until the latest one that we want to launch to the market. And this is our team members, Dr. Thaw, who invented the idea and then developed the products, me and Pongpit, who help on the business side, and then Dr. Narudon will help to adjust the device to patient and then test the device. We also have the engineering team as well to help on R&D and then plan to implement other features as well. We come to the first stage already, which the product that we showed before. The next phase, we plan to implement more on feature software, such as a family tracking system. And then for the next phases, we plan to implement more advanced features to help to notice with the peers and families as well, such as GPS tracking and then injury alert in case of they are walking and then falling outside of their house. And lastly, we plan to expand to other markets as well, such as USA and European countries. So that is our presentation of our projects. We believe that we want to help to improve the quality of the life of patients, especially Parkinson people.
Well, thank you for a very interesting presentation. Let me start with this question. How long have you been developing this prototype?
Okay, so the first one we developed quite very simple, so it's used around 1 month actually. But the next step we use around almost more than 8 months, because we would like to find the things that everyone loves that. We're not testing only the Parkinson people. Actually, I try with the stroke patient, multiple sclerosis, and other kind of movement disorder. So I will change the position and where the device should be.
Can it easily be replicated?
Replicated. Okay. Okay.
Somebody else can come to the market and have similar device.
Okay. So actually, we do the patent, but it's not answer everything. We know that, but we search through the patent, and the sensor that we use is not yet on the market yet. So I also search for the copying already, and they copy the other kind of sensor because people trying to find it like the shoe. So in the sensor and the software that we use is not that easy to copy. We just start out of the box, so we don't use the sensor the same as other use. And when they figure out which kind of sensor that we use or software that we use, we will launch the third version, which I would like to explain more about our third version. So our third version is not just only falling detection, but we will use the brain-computer interface so that people will know when they're going to freeze. I mean, when the leg will have to happen and they need to use it. And it also collecting some important data to develop to help other kind of disease. So we plan to step forward on that. And the third version, we're supposed to get it within the next 2 to 3 years, which is in time that if people will copy our first version, we will have the third version ready on the market.
Thank you. One question about going to market. When do you see being on the market and being profitable? And second question is, you said the price is around 500. What's the margin? And how much does it cost you to produce the product?
We already expect the gross margin. The gross margin is around 53%. The gross margin is around 53%, and then after we project the financial impact, we also search for some medical company as well. What's the name again? Medtronic. The Medtronics, and then we found out that their gross margin is around 51% as well. So we use that as a benchmark, and then when we deduct all the costs, all the interest and tax, we'll have net income averagely annually around 23% per year. Yep. So we believe it's a positive number.
And the next question is, sorry, can you repeat it?
And when do you expect to be profitable and be on the market?
The second year, which means 2020.
Production cost. Or maybe you would like to know more about the production cost, isn't it? Or right? Okay. So the production cost. So if we order 1,000 units sold, the price will be 1,000 baht, 25 US dollars. If we order more than 1,000 units sold.
To add more on that, it's just the version 1 that costs around 800 baht, which is $25. And then I think for the next couple version, the cost will be up more because we have to invest in software R&D, and then we have to test the software as well. So I think the cost of goods sold will rise from the second year to 5 years that we project. And the second version and third version, we plan to sell around 40,000 baht. Yep. So we like double or almost triple the price as well.
I'm just curious, your change in revenue from 2019 to 2020 is magnificent, the projection, and then it doesn't increase very much after that. So 2 questions really. How are you going to manage to sell so many more in 2020? What actually happens? And then why does it stop there?
ไปถึงช่วง2 ปีแรกในไทยใช่ปะ
ไม่ปีที่2ทำไมถึงกลับมาบวกเร็วปีที่3ปีที่4ทำไมแบบมัน stable ก็คือแบบจะมีผู้ขายเข้ามา
Because we thought that in Thailand, I mean in our culture, the impact of the product will launch in the first 2 years. But after that, I'm quite sure that people will try to seek something else to reduce the price. That's why it's maybe a little bit stable or reduced. And that's why we need to project the more market in the internationally worldwide. And that's why we have to launch and seek more than partner than that. And the stagnant is because we try to launch the new version, the second and the third version to serve more unmet need and still remain on the market.
Let's talk after about your financials.
Similar question, I guess, with that ramp up in sales that you're looking to achieve, how do you build capacity in your team to actually supply all of those devices to different people? And the second, I guess, follow-up question to the one you just responded was, you said that people may look for a cheaper solution in the future, but your next step is to increase the price of your solution. Is there a noticeable improvement in your second solution for them?
Okay, so it's different kind of culture because I check in the insurance part that cover from the US, and I also asked from my partner, which my friend in EU or some stuff. So it depends on the country that we would like to go in the insurance cover part for Parkinson and foundation. So that's why we thought that in Thailand we try to subsidize and find the money from the grant and from the funding in the future. Like Pete mentioned that to support the people who cannot afford that. We already do the market survey, like the small market survey with the patient from private hospital and public hospital. And people from private hospitals say that my product is quite worthwhile, and around 80% for that say that they can afford that with no problem, and they would like to help me to donate some money to the poor people or to the public hospital. So we figure it out which the model is best in that area.
And the scaling up of the production and supply, how do you think you'll manage that?
So one of the manufacturers is Primal Laser Therapies. They have over 10 years experience in producing medical products, and their production cap is around 200,000 units per year. So we believe it will be fine to expand internationally later. Yep.
Hi. Just a few questions on the impact. So you've stated that an 80% improvement in the 15 patients that you've worked with. Have any of them worn it at home in everyday life? Have you tested longer time?
Yes, because I take the prototype to my patient to walk at home, and they send me the video back. So right now they are walking in Laos. They're traveling there and send the video back to me. And they also mentioned that if I would like to use their testimonial, they're happy to do that. So they also walk on the street, which is what is called the walk path in Thailand that has a lot of footpath in Thailand, the public footpath that has pumper.
That have a lot of struggles.
Yeah, so there, it's like the square that has the small step, and it said that okay, the light still can visible, and it helps them when they have the problem. So the only feedback that we have is like the third version that we try to do. They said that sometimes they don't realize that they are going to have the freezing problem. So the third version we try to say that okay, when you start to freeze, just have something like the warning so that they beware. It will be very helpful. And another problem, because most of them relate to the Alzheimer's disease and cognitive problem. So that is the feedback from the caregiver that if they pause for too long, just tracking to family mobile system to say that okay, I'm here, please help me or something.
And my second question is, Parkinson's is a progressive disease. It gets worse over time. Mm-hmm. How long can they use this? At what point in the disease can they use this, and at what point does it no longer become effective?
So in the term of knowledge, if people keep physical activity, if they're still walking a lot, it's progressive, but it will be more slower. For example, you have the problem since you're 65. If you continue to have exercise and good health, the more severe that you can be wheelchair bound, maybe you are at around 75 or 80 years old. But if you don't walk at all, maybe you cannot walk when you are 70 years old. It also depends on the stage that you come. So that's why we need to launch the campaign to educate more people. Because if you come at earlier stage, we can save more until it's progressed to that bedridden.
I guess it's the last question. What is their IP situation, and what's the relationship between this company and Mahidol University?
Okay, so this patent is filling as my company and my name. It's not represented Mahidol because I didn't break any law of the product. We didn't use any facility in Mahidol University at all. We use our partner, which is outside, is a manufacturer. So that's why we can do that. And the patent filing number now I took in Thailand, both of them, and we are working on the patent PCT and also patent to EU.
Can we go one more question? Final question. Let's say this is wildly successful. It does really well, and in 5 years, what are you doing? Are you?
You mean after 5 years or within 5 years?
Yeah. What are you guys doing in 5 years? What are your plans? Are you selling? Are you staying? What's happening?
We would like to expand our product quite worldwide to Parkinson Foundation. Actually, when I went to Boston, I already contact with the Parkinson Dance Group and the society about what vision now that we can take in. So we plan to send the sample to to prepare to send the sample to them first as a trial, and if it works good, they will ask and contact the Parkinson Foundation with Michael J. Fox and stuff, blah blah blah. And in German, because myself, I have spent there as a clinical fellowship in German for 1 year, and also get the chance to be the speaker in rehab technology in Berlin and Leipzig. So I have a quite good connection with them, and they try to figure it well how can it help the social impact. And if
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, judges, for all comments and questions. And thank you, team.